Leviticus is the third book in the Bible, right after Genesis and Exodus. In Exodus, we saw God rescue the Israelites from slavery in Egypt and lead them to Mount Sinai. There, he gave them the 10 Commandments, and they built a sacred tent called the Tabernacle, a place where God's presence could live among them. But here's the problem: God is perfect and holy, and people aren't. So how could God live so close to humans without them being overwhelmed by his holiness? That's where Leviticus comes in. It's a guidebook, teaching the Israelites how to live clean, holy lives so they could stay near God without fear. Leviticus has 27 chapters, and it's divided into a few big parts. Chapter 1 through 7 talk about sacrifices. Some were for saying, "I'm sorry," some for saying, "Thank you," and some just to get closer to God. These sacrifices helped deal with sin and keep people connected to him. Chapter 8 through 10 are about the priests, especially Aaron, Moses' brother. These priests had the job of helping people worship and offering those sacrifices. Then, chapter 11 through 15 cover what's clean and unclean. This wasn't about being dirty or sinful, it was about spiritual readiness. These laws covered things like food, skin diseases, and even childbirth. Chapter 16 is the heart of the book. It describes the Day of Atonement, a special day each year when all of Israel's sins were forgiven. Then from chapter 17 to 27, we get what's called the Holiness Code. These chapters focus on how to live a life that reflects God's character, with instructions about honesty, sexual purity, kindness, justice, and helping the poor. Now, to us today, a lot of these laws might seem strange or even harsh. But to the Israelites, they made perfect sense. Here's why. These laws helped the people live differently from the nations around them, showing they belonged to God. They reminded everyone that sin is serious and that God's holiness is something to be respected. And they taught people how to be clean and ready to worship, how to live with God in their midst. It wasn't about earning God's love. It was about learning how to live in a relationship with him. One of the most powerful moments in Leviticus is the Day of Atonement, or Yom Kippur. Once a year, the high priest would offer sacrifices to cover the sins of the entire nation. 2 goats were chosen. One was sacrificed. The other, called the scapegoat, had the sins of the people symbolically placed on it. Then it was sent into the wilderness, carrying those sins far away. It was a powerful symbol of forgiveness and a fresh start. So here's the big question. If we don't follow all these ancient laws today, why should we care about Leviticus? Here's the answer. Leviticus shows us how seriously God takes sin, and how deeply he wants to be close to his people. It reminds us that we can't fix the sin problem on our own, we need help. And for Christians, Leviticus helps us understand what Jesus did. Jesus is like the ultimate high priest, the one who connects us to God. He's also the perfect sacrifice, dying on the cross to take away our sins. And like the scapegoat, he carries our guilt far away. So when you read Leviticus, don't just see a book of ancient rules, see a God who makes a way to live with his people. Leviticus might seem tough at first, but it's a key part of the Bible's story, a story about holiness, forgiveness, and hope. Thanks for watching. If this helped you understand the Bible better, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone who wants to grow in their faith.